In silent wish it started to come. While walking to my destiny, I vaguely see reality. Driving in a wave of life, trying to catch my heart's desire, chasing my dream through tears and pain. I keep on trying. I keep on trying. I keep on In simple notes, I began to sing this childhood wish forlorn I aim. While working on my destiny, I vaguely see reality. Driving in a wave of life, trying to catch my heart's desire, chasing my dream through tears and pain. I keep on trying. I keep on trying. I keep on Chasing dreams is not a game, but a process full of pain. We may fail and fall again, but success is at the I keep on trying. I keep on trying. Driving in the wave of life, trying to catch my heart's desire, chasing my dream through tears and pain. I keep on trying. I keep on trying.
Hello, welcome everyone. Peace and all the good things to all of you, and welcome here in JhermiNATION, our hub for health, arts, and business. And I'm your host, Jeremy, here in London. And I take it that you're all doing well and keeping safe wherever you're watching from right now. So please write on the comment box where you're watching from so I can give you a shout out. And we are live simultaneously on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page Germination. I just would like to greet all those who are joining us right now. We have Mimi Mili, yeah, now one of our creative director here in Germination, and Ian Nolan Polistico, yeah, and watching from London, yeah, and one of the owners of Shukiji. Ayan. So, germination wouldn't be complete without a seed that we can plant into your mind and let it germinate. Because here in germination, we believe that everything starts from within. So, here's our seed of today. Yeah, that is something to ponder about. That the goal give us direction, but it's the system that actually will give us progress in life. All right. So, for all of you who are new to our page, please do check out our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel, Germination. Ayan. And I just would like to greet EJ Barrientos. Ayan. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome here. And we also have Helen Esperanzate Calvario. I don't know if you're related. I need to check you out. And of course, Mimi Mili and Ian Nolan Polistico. All right, so let's cut to the chase and then let us now introduce our special guest or featured guest for this episode. We are episode 18 now, year 5 here in Germination live stream show, which I believe and very proud of. This is the longest running live stream show here in the UK. All right, so let's bring in our special guest. Let us firstly introduce
It's time to join the chat. Germination's got the beat, no time to wait. Digital vibes is where we're at. Don't hold back, this trip to fade. Party hard in germination, stay online. Dancing groove, let the good time shine. In this virtual world, we'll unwind.
All right, let's all welcome. Hello.
Sorry.
Let's welcome from uStore-it. All right. So first of all, let's welcome Mark Hare. Did I pronounce it correctly? Hare or Harry
That's
or
right.
Mark
Like,
Hare?
no hair and all hair.
Welcome here, Mark. And please greet our live audience for tonight.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoy what's coming shortly.
Very nice and short, Mark.
Yeah.
Mark here is the owner of uStore-it, which we will find out more as we go along this live stream show. All right, and of course we have the very first franchisee of uStore-it, and also a businessman himself and the owner of Briley Care, the agency that truly cares. A good friend of mine, Paul Zuzon. Please greet them here, Paul, our live audience for tonight.
Hello, good evening to all the audience of my good old friend, Jeremy of Germination. Thank you for tuning in. You can also share this link to as many as you can tonight so they can listen to Mark and I talk about the business opportunity that you might be interested in. And it we'll never know, it might change your life.
Amazing. Yes, that is correct. And I just would like to encourage everyone, our live audience for tonight. Please share this to your friends who are thinking of venturing into business, especially if it's a franchise business, because this is our topic for tonight in this episode. All right. Mark, I can see you deep breathing there. You're quite nervous. All right, Mark. Tell us about uStore-it. I believe this is already existing in Spain, right? Give us a little bit of background. Why did you think of starting a self-storage company or business?
Okay, let me give you a brief background. My previous history, I started off in the nightclub industry, in a place, Tottenham Hotspur's football ground. Um, I eventually became. I had 15 very enjoyable years. Then I ended up going to live in Australia. To I had to start a new career, and I was offered a business venture called Cash Converters. Cut a long story long. I ended up bringing Cash Converters back to the UK. We were the first people in Europe to bring it to Europe. In 1991, we got 150 franchisees. The parent company back in Australia wanted to buy the master franchise rights back. So we floated on the London Stock Exchange and the Australian Stock Exchange, and they bought the rights back for the income streams for the whole business. I then went to live in Spain for a while. My bank manager offered me a warehouse in a place called Manilva, which is near Marbella, Malaga. And I'd just come back from the States, been to a self-storage exhibition in Las Vegas, and I found it very interesting. So my bank manager offered me the warehouse, and the rest is history. I managed to open it up. The demand was absolutely fantastic because we were actually building storage units around people's goods, customers' goods that they were coming in. We then got a gentleman from South Africa who was storing with us. He liked the idea, saw the business concept, and he has now got 6 franchises, six storage centres open in a place called La Linea near Gibraltar. And from there, we started to grow the franchise network. And we started, I wanted to make sure the franchisees were successful. So before we actually do another, how can I put it, a campaign for franchise recruitment. That I met Paul through a nephew of mine, and Paul will be able to give you how we met. But Paul and I decided, well, what we will do is try and establish the business here in the UK.
Oh, I think we lost Mark there.
Mark, are you still there?
Anyway, so it's good to know that Mark
Yep.
was actually the businessman who brought cash converters here in the UK.
Yeah.
And as we know, it's very popular. Almost everywhere you go, you will see cash converters,
Cash
and
converters.
many branches all around UK. And then it's a very interesting story how Mark actually started. It was his business was like in a nightclub. You said, Mark, right? Are you back with us? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you
Oh,
hear me?
yeah.
Where did I leave you? In
I
La
think you're
Linea.
gonna. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's correct. Yeah.
And then we came across, started to promote it here. Met Paul through my nephew, and we're now looking at opening up in Dalston. Found a site. From there, it's very important that we make Paul successful, because it's no good having a franchise system. It's got to be a win-win-win situation. One for the customer, one for the franchisee, and one for the franchisor, which is myself.
Yeah.
What we're doing is taking the storage industry, shaking it up a little bit, like we did with cash converters. We can't compete with the big storage sheds in the industrial estates. So what we're doing is bringing the storage to the local communities, because we know how the depth of population is growing all over London and Manchester and Birmingham. So our philosophy is that if we build it, they will rent. The nice thing
Yep.
about our business, it's the setup costs are 65 to 75,000. Um, we actually, you only need one member of staff, and in some cases we actually don't have any staff. It's open 24 hours and we operate them remotely. On that basis, the overheads are very, very low. And the idea is that people in the Western society, people need 2 or 3 square meters of extra space. As you know, you a 1 bedroom, a 2 bedroom flat is really a 1 bedroom apartment, because you use it for storage.
Are you still there, Mark? Yeah. All right. I just would like to say hello as well to EJ. Hello there at the stage. You're back, Paul.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So, Paul,
Yep.
people know you as the owner of Briley Care staffing agency, and
Yep.
what made you say yes to Mark when you learned about this self storage business, franchise business? Tell us more about this one, Paul.
Um. So before I met Mark, I've been doing my own research on where we need to diversify our
Mm,
investments, Jeremy. So as
yeah,
you know, as what the saying goes, you shouldn't be putting all of your gold in just one pot,
yep, yep.
because you'll never know. Especially nowadays, the economy in every country is very volatile due
Yep.
to several factors. So I've been studying self storage for 2 years, but not that comprehensively. Yep. So I just wanted to tell the audience of the story of when I met Mark. So I met Mark through his nephew, Herman, who is the current CEO and director of T4 Bubble Tea. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what T4 Bubble Tea is. It's currently the largest um, bubble tea company in the UK. So we wanted to be one of their franchisees. So I first spoke to Herman in the early weeks of June of last year. And then 2 months of talking with Herman, I suddenly realized that um, it doesn't make any sense for me to invest almost 300,000 to be a franchisee of T4 Bubble Tea.
Mhm.
I was interested with the T4 Bubble Tea franchise in Romford at that time. So, yep. So after 2 months of talking to Herman, I decided that I would.
I'm glad it just doesn't happen to me.
Over to you, Mark. Oh, there you go. Paul is back. Paul is back. I just would like to say hi as well to Christine Swales or Swales. Ayan, watching from Portsmouth, as far as I can remember, of Elements of Zen. Hello there, Christine. Oh, we lost Paul. So, Mark, are you still a part of this cash converters at the moment? You're still running those, or
No, but when we floated it on the London and there he is. Yeah, when we floated it, I gave up any involvement, but I'm still friends with a lot of the franchisees who are very
Mhm.
successful. I'm pleased to say.
Okay. So you're focusing now on the uStore-it.
Purely on uStore-it, yes.
uStore-it. Yeah, yeah. Back to you, Paul. Picking up from where you were. Can you hear us? Yeah, you sound. You are. We can't hear you, Paul. There's no sound. There's no sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, that's better. Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome
okay,
back,
good.
Paul.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, guys.
No worries. No worries. Yeah.
So yeah. I decided to not pushing through with
It's a bit,
being a
Paul,
franchise.
Paul, it's a bit
Yep.
blurred.
Is that better now?
Do you want to go a bit nearer the mic?
I'm very near the mic.
The joys of technology.
So, where are you originally from, Mark? Because you are well traveled. You live in Australia, Spain. Oh, we lost them. Are you back, Paul? Yes, going back to you, Mark. Where are you originally from? I can't really categorize where you're from.
I was born in Guyana in South America.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
and then I came across to the UK when I was about 8 or 9. Lived in a place called York, and then Hull, and then ended up running a nightclub when I was 18 years of age. I was one of the youngest licensees in the UK. Then I ended
Wow.
up in Australia. Then because my parents and my brother and sisters were there, and then I ended up in Tottenham at the nightclub when I was 21. Um,
Mhm.
but we weren't letting anybody in unless they were 25. So um, Tottenham was a great experience for me, but the area deteriorated a little, and I ended up deciding, well, I'll go for another opportunity in life. And my brother lived in Perth, where cash converters started. Um,
Mhm.
we had a 5-year plan, 1991, and we floated by 96. Probably a lot more luck than judgment, Jeremy. So, but you need luck,
Yeah, yeah.
Paul.
Amazing. Yeah. Going back to
Hello,
you, Paul.
Jeremy. I'm sorry.
No
That's why
worries, no worries.
I wanted 6 p.m., not half past 7. So this is the time we have like a million phone calls.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Especially now summer, the demand for agency work is so high.
Mm.
Um, in Barley Care, we only have a very lean team. It's only four and a half of us.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yep. So I did push through with being the franchisee of T4.
Cool.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I asked Herman, do you have any other franchise that you can recommend to me, or any businesses of a franchise model? So he referred me to his uncle. Mark.
And I met Mark.
In June, isn't it? Last week of June, Mark. So it's been a year of knowing Mark. I've just
Mhm.
realized. So yep, and the rest was history, Jeremy.
And then
From June of last year until October, we've been doing a lot of research. Um, I've been doing a lot of research as well. I've been calling and going and visiting a lot of self-storages across London, i.e. Safe Store, Attic, Showguard, Big Yellow Storage. Um, and yeah, and then October we found our site, which is in Dalston,
yep.
and
Hopefully by this week.
we will be signing the lease.
And
And God willingly, last week of July, we might be opening.
or it
Wow,
might be
amazing.
earlier.
Yep.
So
So
my facility
In Dalston is a 4,200 square feet facility that will yield 116 storage units.
160 units. Wow.
116.
Mhm. And how big is it per unit? Is it different sizes
Oh,
or?
we have varied sizes.
The smallest is 10 square feet,
Mhm.
and then the biggest is 75 square feet.
Square feet. How much is that in square meters? I can what's the conversion? I'm more
I can
familiar with
tell
the
you.
square meters.
Multiply 1 square meter by 10, and that gives
By
you
10.
square
Okay, okay.
Square feet, yeah.
Oh, okay. By 10. Okay, okay.
Yep.
Gotcha,
We will
gotcha.
have
Locker type storage units as well, because my facility is located bang on in the middle of a development of new flats and apartments
Oh, wow.
with with
Amazing.
more or less 300 doors, Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that alone, those flats and apartments, uh, those residents that are living in those flats and apartments might fill up my facility.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
then adjacent to my facility is the famous Ridley Street Market, one of the oldest street markets in London, with
Mm-hmm.
200 stores. These are various stores, so we have grocery stores.
Yeah, yeah,
We've got fishmongers. So I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you've
They
been
will
there.
need the storage facilities definitely.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
and believe me or not, before I mean, when we found this property, it needs to be. We need to submit an application for the change of use. Yep, and we need to submit this application to Hackney Council
Mm-hmm.
because the property was an office before. Now
Oh,
we
okay.
need to submit an application for a change of use. That's what they term it. From
Office to
yeah, from office to a self-storage.
oh,
Yep.
okay.
So it only took us what 2 weeks, Mark, isn't it? So Hackney Council realized that the demand for storage will be beneficial for the area,
Mm-hmm.
specifically Ridley Street Market. Because if you go there, store owners are making up their own storages right in the middle of the streets. So it's really good to know that they've found it very beneficial to have a self storage within that area.
You hit the nail on the head when it comes to the location because you're
Yes,
in you're in the middle of residences and then I lost Paul again. It's a middle of residences and you will be lucky, because you know what Filipinos are like. We like to store a lot of things.
Well, absolutely, yeah. And as I said, everybody needs at least 20 square feet of extra space for various
Mhm.
different reasons.
Yeah,
What we
yeah, yeah.
normally do, Jeremy, is that I introduced Paul to my franchisees in Spain. So
Mhm.
I'm going to try and sell it to your audience, but my franchisees don't have to sell it. Okay.
Mm.
So what we
Yeah.
do is, if we will do anybody who's interested, we do what's called a discovery presentation.
Mm.
We ask them to register with www.ustore-it.eu. They can register, and then I call it baby steps. We take it
Yeah.
from there. But as I said, as Paul is our first one, we really need to make sure that he is successful, because otherwise we're just blowing in the wind.
So no pressure for Paul. We lost Mark as well. All right, I just would like to say hi as well to Jerry Haranilla, yan, of FBC, Philbrit Connect, the one who produced the PBA Motor Club recently. Ayan. Congratulations, by the way, for a very successful event here, the PBA Motor Club. Yeah, I was there and I really enjoyed it, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. So congratulations. And hopefully next year it will happen again, part 3. You're right, Mark. Yeah, I was just saying, Jerry is actually in the house as well. He is watching right now of PBA Motor Club, because you were one of the major sponsors there as well.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah, yeah. He's watching right now. So Jerry of Philbrit Connect. Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah.
In a nutshell, before Paul comes back, I think the headline numbers are very simple.
Mm,
We show a net profit of anything between 40 and 50% net profit. But as I said to you, you can operate these businesses without having any staff. They can be
mm,
remote. But usually, it's nice to have one member of staff. We've got a franchisee, and I can give that information out to anybody who is interested. He turned over 420,000 euros, and he showed
mm.
220,000 profit, net profit.
Wow.
Uh, so it's a very simple business. The big boys don't like franchising. There's only 2 other franchise companies in the UK. One is Easy Franchise, um, Easy Storage. That's the EasyJet guy.
Mm-hmm.
But they do containers rather than what we are trying to achieve. And to get into one of them, you're looking at probably £500,000.
Wow.
Whereas,
Mm-hmm.
whereas ours, it's a very simple business, because there's lots of abandoned office space in London and elsewhere. Therefore, the other one is a company called Barn Store, which is usually out in the country, that people who need storage in barns and the countryside. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I can give you an
Right. The internet connection is very challenging at the moment. All right, guys. So for those of you who are thinking of like a business that you would like to venture into, um are you back, Mark? Yeah?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I, I
So
was I was I was saying, we've got a gentleman, Alarin Laratore. It's near Fringarola. Just what he does, he pays €3 a month rent, and he charges 18 to 20 euros a square meter storage.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
So again, all these numbers, it's difficult when you're trying to present yourself. You're trying to throw that much information to people.
Yeah,
But as I
yeah.
said, if anybody's interested, I'm very happy to take baby steps. They can come along, or we'll do a discovery presentation online, and we just take it from there.
Yes, yes. That's correct. So how many branches do you have in Spain for uStore-it?
13 outlets with 5 or 6 franchisees. Because I'm the
13 outlets.
franchise, and in fact, my manager is a Filipino in Manila. I own my properties.
Mhm.
And I met this wonderful gentleman called Christian Lossa, whose father was in the Filipino army, and he's been managing it for me. So I go to Spain. I've just come back from there, so I keep going back there every 4 or 5, 6 weeks.
Wow,
But
great.
the principle is that in in the UK nobody's doing the smaller units
Mm, mm.
because it's too expensive. I mean, when you look at the big sheds in the industrial estates, and people won't travel more than sort of 10 minutes unless they have to in a car to go to storage. Whereas if you've got them on your doorstep, I mean, you look at central London, you look up at the flats and the apartments, everybody's got things stored on the balconies.
Yeah, true.
So, so there are many reasons why people want to store with us. It's convenience as well, you know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So this is more of like not just for business people, but also for like individuals, just like what Paul said. His location is very ideal. You back with us, Paul?
Yep.
He's in the
Can you hear
middle
me?
of yes, yes. Oh, your video is gone. You don't have a video.
It's gone again. But yeah, when you're looking at buying an apartment for 300,000 or 400,000, and I can see you've got a real estate company behind you, but when you only have to, and you can get, the laws are such crazy now. When you've got an apartment, it's always that the tenant is the winner now, not the landlord. But what we do is that it's very simple. If you can go on, so you might get an apartment you rent for 1,000, 1,200 euros a month. You can get the same amount for a 300 or 400 pound investment by building a small unit for people to rent, because you can charge a premium for the smaller the unit, the more you can charge. So that's why the whole of the UK, the storage industry is still growing.
Yeah, yeah. It's quite new, actually, isn't it? So, Filipinos, when they venture into business, it's always like food, restaurants, all these things. But
Oh, oh,
obviously, this is something different that
they're
people can actually explore and understand more, so they can, just like what Paul did when he was when I was asking him earlier. So he did a lot of research, like almost a year, probably, based on what he
well,
was
yeah,
saying.
well,
He was
he's been
going to like different storages areas and he's really studying it really well. So this is a very important lesson for
and the
those people who would like to start a business. They
and
have to really
again the
study it.
the numbers. Paul will explain. He went through the numbers with the guys in Spain because
Mhm.
and doing his research here as well. So sorry, Paul, you carry on.
Sorry, guys. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this
yeah,
was okay now.
yeah, yeah.
So, um, yeah. No, the reason why I chose self storage is because it's a profitable business,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not as hands on as my current business, running a recruitment agency with more than 800 employees. It's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Too much headache, too much paperwork. Now, with self storage, as you know, within London alone, I think Mark has explained this one earlier. Self storage or storage alone is now a commodity. Now, in London, the houses in London, flats and apartments are very small. Perfect example is in Hackney. Uh,
Mm.
their one bedroom flat in Dalston is seven figures. That's £1 million. And the space of that one bedroom flat is very, very small. Yep. That's
Mm.
why Mark has mentioned, if you see their balconies, it's filled with rubbish. It's filled with kids' toys. I've even seen a commode, Mark. Have you seen that in Dalton? So who puts a commode on their balcony? I mean, I just don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Somebody investing £1 million in a lovely flat or apartment in London, and then if you look at their balcony, you can see a commode.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
so yes. So Mark and his team has definitely found um, something in this,
Yeah,
and to be honest, it's a gold mine.
yeah, yeah.
Why is it a gold mine? Number one, uStore-it, especially Mark's franchise model, has one of the lowest starting capital costs in the market.
Mhm.
Uh, for example, my facility, which is a 4,200 square feet that yields 116 stores unit, my starting capital cost is between 65 to 70K. Yeah. And that will be the same starting capital cost for any interested franchisees. Return of investment, it's 41% per year. And this is based on the Self Storage Association report for 2024 for last year. Yep. Mark's facilities in Spain, their return of investment is how much, Mark? You're doing 53%, isn't it? In Manila.
Absolutely, yeah. I just explained, yeah, and the La Linea, 50%.
Imagine that, Jeremy. I was meant to step into the property ladder. I was meant to buy a property outside of London, a one-bedroom flat for almost £300,000. It was offered to me
Mm,
last year. Yep, but
yeah.
I find it financially illogical for me to invest £300,000, or even let's say
Mm,
250 or £200,000. And then if you do a buy to let, that will only yield you what? A measly 6% return of investment per year if you are lucky. And with the current climate within the property right now, specifically buy to let, it's not very promising. I've got
mm,
mates of mine with a property portfolio of like 40 properties around London. They've got 5 tenants who haven't been paying for 6 months to 1 year. You know why? Because they have lost their jobs. You know,
I see, I
there
see. Yeah.
was death in the family, and so on and so forth. Now, these tenants, all they have to do is just call social services, and you know what? Social services will side with them. They protect these tenants, and the
Mm,
landlords, they have no, they have not, they can't do anything about it. They're
mm,
powerless
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
now a law.
yeah.
Yep. So landlords lost business for 6 months to 1 year. Mark wants to
We
say
have
something.
we have a fallout rate of less than 1% who people don't pay us. We're like bank managers really because we've got their goods as security, and
Mm,
if they don't pay us, we send them the software we've got is a magnificent software. You don't it works. It does all the emails, all the invoicing for you. It does everything for you. So
Yeah.
but what happens if somebody? We've had people storing with us for 9 years.
mm,
The storage industry is such that people do not like to they get emotionally attached to their goods.
Yep.
So they
I
just
know.
keep. And I'll be honest, sometimes you wouldn't burn some of the items that people store, but they're still attached to their goods. So we're never 100% full. We're 95% to 96% because you always have people moving in and people moving out.
Yep.
Mm,
But the principle is all you do is sell their goods if they don't pay you, and you keep keep the cash. And if there's any surplus, you can give it back to the person who owns the goods. So it's a very again. I like to say we're like a hotel, but instead of storing people, we store goods.
Yep.
no, that's a good analogy.
Yep. So that's the
And
good thing about self storage.
more
Uh,
importantly, with franchising, you are an independent operator. With our franchise, you're an independent operator working under a corporate umbrella.
yep.
You're not working by yourself, you're working for yourself. And
Mm,
we have a recipe and we say just go away and bake the cake. But we have ways of of altering that recipe, because every 4 weeks we have a workshop meeting, an online meeting. Franchisees can then send in their items they would like to discuss, or if we, because it's our intellectual think tank that moves us forward. None of us are as good as all of us.
Yep.
So the idea is that what we then do is that and I've invited Paul and any potential franchisee, we will invite them to meet our franchisees online as well. So I've invited Paul to a couple of workshops so that he can see that the people who we're dealing with.
We lost Mark.
Lost Mark.
Yeah. So that's really good. There's a good support. You're not on your own.
yeah.
And
It's a proven business
that's
model,
the-
Jeremy.
Yeah.
As you know, uStore-it in Spain has started since 2014, and now they have 10 successful locations, and growing. Yep. So, Mark, you're
Yeah,
back.
sorry, I could talk about this all night. I'm sorry if I bore you, but
No, not at all.
no. It's just a question of again. It's the philosophy is anybody can go and open up a storage center. You've got to have a decent exit route. Anybody can go and open up selling a burger joint next door to a McDonald's. And if you took the same amount of money as a McDonald's and you made the same net profit, who's going to sell for a lot more money? Because of the brand, it's going to be McDonald's. Okay, we haven't got a brand as yet, but I know we'll grow the brand. So, but I like to, it's like getting a pass for Disneyland. Once you go through the door, everything's there for you, and we help you with everything that you need.
Yep.
And I think Paul will testify to that.
Yep.
And let's tell them about the beauty of a franchise business. You don't have to start from scratch, and there's already a system behind it. Who would like to tell us more about that one?
Again, it's the principle is that anybody can go and open up one, but they will make mistakes. Even with my knowledge and having a mentor who had a self-storage business in Miami, I still made mistakes in Spain. So it's all a question of passing those mistakes on, the financial consequences of those mistakes, so that the new franchisees come in. And again, you don't have to buy anything from us. A franchisee, we have what's called a recommended suppliers list that people can go along, and we invite franchisees to invite their suppliers, so that we build up this wonderful, how can I put it?
Relationship, maybe.
Yes, and it's trust.
Yep.
Is based upon openness.
Yeah. That's
Sorry.
really good.
That's the beauty of this
Take it
franchise.
over. Sorry.
That's the beauty of Mark's franchise model, specifically uStore-it's franchise model, Jeremy. It's proven. It's a proven successful self-storage franchise in Spain. As I mentioned earlier, they have 10 locations already.
Well, it's 12, Paul.
Oh, 12. See? So there's 12 and it's growing. Yep. And bear in mind, Mark grew cash converters from one location in Gans Hill to 150 in 5 years. So
They
whatever
did start in Ganshill, the cash converters.
first one, yes, in Gans Hill.
Wow.
And it's still there,
East
isn't it?
London, yeah.
Oh, there's more now. There's about 250 of them, I think. But the point is that you're looking at 250, 300,000 pounds. As again, 65 to 70,
To franchise it.
and
Jeremy?
you need about 8 or 10 staff. Like you would probably need 3 or 4 staff in a T4.
True.
And this business, you can run it from the beach and sit on the beach, and you can let people in, let people out. They pay you online before they go in. If they don't pay you, you can lock them out. It's just a simple business.
Wow.
Yes.
It's like a no-brainer, because you don't have much overheads, you don't have much stuff
Oh,
that you have to pay. It's like what Paul was saying, you're comparing your temporary staffing business now to a self-storage, wherein You don't have
Oh,
much paperwork. You have the app, very convenient. As what Mark said, you can just be on the beach, look at the app. You can just click
yep.
the button who you want to go in and out. You know, they
It's,
pay you online as well. Not
it
much
has the
stuff.
same
So,
principle of Airbnb, Jeremy, isn't it?
mm, mm,
But as what Mark said, instead of storing people, we're storing goods.
mm,
Yep.
mm.
So
And that's
so
why
this is
that
We lost.
there again.
So, Paul, what is the challenge for you right now? Because as what Mark said earlier,
Yep.
you have to be, because you're the very first franchisee of
Yep.
uStore-it in UK. So, what's the challenge for you now?
Oh, the challenge
The
is I've
purpose
got a
saying you have to
very
be
big chip
successful.
on my shoulder.
Otherwise, everything will be.
the
Yeah, I've got
challenge
a
is
very
all successful. That's the big challenge.
that's it. That's the big chip on my shoulder, Jeremy.
I
But
wouldn't advise anybody else to be buying a franchise just yet until we'll know within 6 or 8 weeks of Paul opening up how
yeah,
successful it's going to be. That's how quickly he will get people storing with him before he even opens. He's already got one person that I've introduced who needs some storage there, so we're meeting him next week.
true.
Wow, amazing.
But we haven't done any advertising as yet in the local area, but because we're
Oh,
waiting
that's
for Paul to sign his lease, you see.
yeah.
That's really good.
But that will give a good indication as to the demand.
Yeah, yeah. And storage space is also like real estate. It's also a real estate sort of like
It's
business,
they reckon
because
it's one of the best.
yeah, yeah,
They
but it's just a
reckon,
different one. You're storing goods rather than
yeah,
people. So just like you
the reckon
said.
storage. The reckon storage is one of the best real estate investments.
Yeah.
Mm, 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 mm.
There's a company out there called Inside Self Storage. If your audience, they can get a lot of information from a company called Inside Self Storage. They're
Yep.
American based, but
Mm,
we're members of the Association of Self Storage in Spain. It's
mm,
a legal entity that looks after all the self storage businesses. There's only 45% or 42% of people in Spain who know what self storage is about.
mm, mm.
Here in the UK, the demand is growing all the time.
Yeah. Now, have you ever wondered, Jeremy, why for example, in Enfield, there's three self-storages, massive ones, Safe Store. This is in Enfield, yeah, by the
Yeah.
A10. Yeah, so we have Safe Store, who has been there since 2015. And then right beside it, literally a stone throws away, is Attic, which is 70,000 square feet, one of their biggest facility. And then if you
Mm.
drive up 3 minutes away, we've got Big Yellow Storage.
Wow.
Another
All just in that area.
all in one area. And that's
And,
just
and Enfield is not as densely populated as Walthamstow, as Dalston, as
exactly.
Yeah.
uh,
East London,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
there's no way. It's all about the population numbers,
Yep.
and we offer the opportunity to take 50,000 people. My storage centre in Manilva in Spain, it grew that quickly. I had to buy 3 more warehouses and put
Yeah.
mezzanine floors in them, and that's got
Mm.
over 325 units in it.
And just tell them what's the population of Manilva, Mark.
14,500 people.
Imagine that's only 14,500 compared to Hackney. Hackney has
180.
80,000, almost 100,000.
It's a bit
Wow.
more. I think it's 120, I think. Don't quote me
Yep.
on that.
It's actually more than 120. I think it's it's close to 130,000. The whole of
So-
Hackney. It's one of the biggest boroughs of London.
So in the early days, sorry, Paul, in the early days, we offer bigger territories to give people the comfort factor. And the more franchisees we get on board, our experience tells us, the more we can charge for the franchise fee and the less. It's a bit like the body shop syndrome. Rita Roddick gave out too big an area. So what we're doing is happy to talk to franchise, give them an area they're comfortable with, but come next year, come the year after, the opportunities are not going to be the same. The difficult part is finding a site.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you have to find your own site as well, right? If I understand it correct, just like what you did, Paul, you found
Yep.
a like this
Yeah,
office
and then
area that needs to be converted into a self storage.
because you will know your area better than we will. But what we do is we come along and agree the site or not agree. A couple of friends Paul's introduced. I went to see a couple of sites and said they're not suitable. So
Okay, yeah,
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 so there's no good me putting you in a site and you're not going to be successful. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But
It's
Jeremy,
always when it's real estate, it's always location, 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 isn't it?
that's it. It's always location, location, location. So this is how it works. So if there's an interested franchisee, I mean interested uh, person who wants to get a franchise from uStore-it. So if, for example, if they're located in Walthamstow or in, let's say, in Battersea, so they would call me or Mark. They would say, Mark, we wanted our uStore-it facility in, let's say, Battersea. So we will find them the property. Or they can also go online. There's a lot of commercial properties online that are for lease since COVID. So these are offices that have gone bust. Okay, businesses that have gone bust. Same as the office that I got in Hackney. So it's been on the market for almost 3 years, Jeremy. So there's loads on the market, but it's just finding that right property that would suit your needs, and it's suitable as well. It's up to standard to uStore-it standards.
And as what Mark said earlier, if somebody wants to get involved, then they just have to register, and then you will have like a discovery session
Presentation,
to
yeah.
find out, if this is something for you, and
Yep.
so what Mark described earlier is like baby steps.
Yep.
Um, take it slowly but surely. Make sure it's the right one for you, and you get the opportunity to ask questions, whatever you've got in your mind before you actually like fully engage or fully commit into the as a franchisee.
And
And we
Jeremy, you know me, I'm very particular with things. I
Mm,
am, I have that eye for detail. Yep.
mm,
But knowing Mark since June and joining his workshops as well and meeting and talking to his franchisees in Spain, I was impressed. You know, so if anyone is interested, I mean, if anyone has the money, a nurse, a carer who saved, let's say, 50,000 pounds for working for the past 10 years, instead of starting your own business from scratch, why not choose a franchise with a proven business model, a successful business model in Spain? And, all you have to do is just follow the recipe, as what Mark said, and bake the cake. That's all you have to do. So, Mark and his team, or even me, will be spoon feeding all the franchisees of the things that they need to start and run a successful uStore-it franchise self-storage. And that's a no-brainer.
mm.
That's why within 2 months of just promoting uStore-it, specifically its franchise model, we already have 3 franchisees, Jeremy, and one of which is the Putin sisters.
Yeah.
And they've been running Putin forwarding for almost 20 years. One of the most successful forwarding company, Filipino
Mm.
owned, in the UK. And we've got lots of interests as well, Mark, isn't it?
absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
But again, Paul's going to be our pioneer.
Yep.
Yes.
And I can guarantee you, if I had grown Briley Care, which is a very difficult sector to be in, the recruitment sector, I've grown it myself and my wife with no business partners, from just 10 employees to more than 800 employees in 6 years. I will do the same. So the value that I have put into my business, I will put into uStore. And with what Mark has done with Cash Converters, growing it from one store to 150 in 5 years, I'm pretty sure he will replicate and copy and paste the
Yeah.
same effort, the same energy, the same everything that he has done with cash converters to uStore-it. So I
Yes.
mean that's a no-brainer, Jeremy.
And
Yes.
this is a much simpler business.
Yep.
The units are smaller. You don't need great big spaces, so it's a much simpler business.
So it's we're not competing with the big boys, as what Mark said, because our
Mm.
business model is far different. Yep. So we are bringing self-storages closer to town centers. Yep, across London or across the UK. Now, based on statistics from last year, an average Londoner can only afford to travel what 15 minutes, Mark, isn't it?
Well,
Like
maximum.
maximum. Yep, for obvious reasons. Inflation, the economy is very volatile and unstable nowadays.
It's
Everything
more convenience as well.
more
In
conveniences. True. So, I mean, if you were given the choice, okay, number one choice, would you rather drive half an hour to an industrial estate, okay, spend a lot of energy, spend a lot of money, and drive up half an hour to an industrial estate to store your goods? Or option number two, if you are living, let's say, for example, in Dalston, you are living within the flats and apartments above uStore-it, would you just go out of your flat or your apartment, go to the lift, bring the goods that you want to store, and then just press the ground floor button and go to uStore-it? You would choose the latter, isn't it? You would choose option two. You know, it would save you money, save you energy, save you time. And that's what Mark said. We're selling convenience. We're not selling self storage. We're
Mm.
selling convenience. And we're selling quality customer service as well.
Wow, amazing. Thank
Yep.
you very much for bringing you store and for being here in our live stream
Yep.
to share this opportunity,
And
obviously for not just for business people or entrepreneurs who want to venture into a franchise business, but of course all those who just what you said, we have friends or people that we know who's thinking of a business idea but don't know
yep.
where to go or what to do, and this is an opportunity. As what Mark
Jeremy,
said,
as you know,
simple business model.
yeah, I've been in the hospitality sector. I was the first spoon and rice franchisee way back in 2019. I know how
Mm.
it works. I'm currently the shareholder or one of the shareholders and business partners of Intoku, Windsor,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
Intoku Reading. So I know how restaurants are operates. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, you've got perishable goods. You've got a lot of staff to manage. Obviously, it's a service-based business. You know,
Mm.
it's one bad feedback from a customer, your business is going downhill.
Mm. Mm.
So with self-storage, you know,
Well, just
there's
in closing, yeah, thanks, Paul. Just in closing, very simply, if anybody's interested, baby steps. Make if they are interested, doesn't cost anything to look.
yeah,
We'll do a discovery presentation with one of the franchisees from the UK. Maybe Paul might want to get involved. So then we just take it from there. We'll answer 95% of the questions that people will have on the presentation. And then we drill right down into the numbers and we take it from there.
And as we discussed earlier, as we mentioned earlier, it's a growing business in the UK as well, self storage. I, I just would like to mention, Paul, Filipinos. So we love our goods. We have like what we call sentimental value. We don't want to
oh
let
yes,
go of all these things.
you've got like
You can just
things or
imagine,
codes that has been on in our law for like 50 years.
Yes, and we don't want to let go of it. We just,
It's been
so there
passed
we go.
on by
We get a
three
solution now. Self
generations.
storage.
Yeah,
Besides,
true.
besides you all being good singers, I
We're
think
the most
I believe in fate. and me meeting Paul, Paul meeting me, and him introducing me to the Filipino community, I just think it's just fate.
Yeah,
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 it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is. It is. You know, Jeremy, since meeting Mark and knowing him since June of last year, we've been meeting every other week or every week. You know, I talk to him more than I talk to my wife. I've learned a lot from Mark. I'm very big with mentorship. My mindset on life, on business, on finances, on the simplest things in life, but has a bigger impact on not only my life, my family's lives, but the people around me.
Hmm.
That's because of meeting Mark, and I've learned a lot from Mark. You know, so
Thank you, Paul.
so you're welcome, and
And
that's the heart, Mark. So Mark is one of the most successful person that I have met. Since being a business owner, but he's one. It's not. It comes from the heart, Mark. He's one of the most simplest, humblest man you would know.
Well,
oh,
I was always told it was nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. So
That's right.
we'll leave it at that. Is
all
that
right.
it?
Any final words, Paul? To our live audience, invite them, to look into this
Yep.
franchise business.
So to all of our fellow Filipinos and non-Filipinos alike, I started my life here in the UK as a caterer. And I worked my way up to become an us and transition to a business to become a business owner. So I know how hard it is to earn money and to provide for your family here in the UK and provide for your families back home. Now, if you don't want to be an employee until the age of 65, that is not the way forward, guys. I can tell you that. Yep. So the only way forward is to be a business owner, is to start with a business that has a proven business model, same as what Mark has, a uStore-it self-storage franchise. Okay, so instead of you starting from scratch, instead of you starting with a business that you don't know where to start or how to start it, why not choose a franchise with a proven business model in Spain? And why not choose a business wherein the numbers are very promising? Number one, it has one of the lowest starting capital cost. Number two, it has one of the highest return of investments. So, guys, if you're interested, you can contact either me or Jeremy uh, for a discovery presentation with Mark, me, and his operations manager, Stuart. And guys, we just really want to share this blessing to as many Filipinos as I can. As I've told Jeremy and a lot of Filipinos, my ultimate goal is I would like to see as many Filipinos own and run their own uStore-it self-storage, not only across London, but across the UK. And that's going to be a different story, not only for me and Mark, but that's going to be a big win for Filipinos as a whole. So that's my ultimate goal.
Wow, amazing! That's what I always say in our business seminar, Paul, which you attended as well.
Yep.
We're transitioning overseas Filipino workers to overseas Filipino entrepreneurs.
Yes.
That is what the goal is. All right. I just would like to greet all those who join us tonight. We have John Feliu of Celtran Strategic Estates. Hello there. We have Debashis Root. Yeah, my friend from India is actually watching right now.
Oh, from India.
We have Jerry Haranilia. Ayan, of course, of FBC or Philbrick Connect, the
Oh, hi,
producer of
Jerry.
Mother Club. Ayan. And we have Ferdy Ado, yeah, one of the top photographer, videographer in the UK. We have Errol Isik, yeah, of London Bike Fiesta. Ayan, coming up July 5 and 6. We have Ate Christine Swales. Ayan, Elements of Zen. If you want to relax, Paul, contact Ate Christine, like
Yes.
all this health and wellness one. But
I think we
it's
need
actually
a
based in
good
Portsmouth.
spa, Mark. So there you go. We have relax
Yeah, you
Spot.
need to relax, Mark. So you won't be nervous.
No, we've been really working hard, Jeremy. Me and Mark.
Yeah, yeah. You need time to relax. Contact Ate Christine. Ayan. We also have Ian Nolan Polistico. Ayan, the owner of Chukiji. Ayan, Chukiji.
Oh, hi, yes. Lovely
Sushi.
sushi.
Yeah, it's in Puting Broadway. Ayan. Thank you very much, everyone. And then, Mark, really very thankful for your time, for sharing this business opportunity for all of us here, and of course, Paul. No pressure, but
Yeah.
and I believe Paul will deliver. I believe Paul will deliver with
Guys,
his work ethics and discipline. He will
Yep.
deliver.
I want to say this one live on Germination. I am fully committed, okay, on growing uStore-it UK, not only my self-storage in Dalston, which is uStore-it Dalston, but uStore-it UK as a whole. You know why? I am blessed and privileged for Mark, you know, of I mean, just think about this. Out of millions of people in the UK, he gave his very first franchisee to a fellow Filipino, which is great.
Yes.
And I will
Amazing.
be forever grateful to Mark. No, honestly, you could
Yes,
have
yes.
given it to a fellow Brit or fellow mate of yours.
Hmm.
So I think it's fate. As what Mark said, I think it's fate. He's the manager of his Manila facility is a Filipino,
Filipino,
Christian,
yeah.
who has a black belt in what else? What were you saying, Mark?
Origami. We've got a
In
black
origami.
belt in origami.
Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke. So
Origami.
yeah, so he has a black belt in origami.
Origami.
Christian. So that's his
Yes.
manager in Manila. So he is a fellow Filipino who has been managing his very successful uStore-it self-storage in Manila, a massive self-storage in Manila for years. Yep. So because I've been blessed and I've been given the privilege to be his very first franchisee, it is my ethical and moral duty, obligation, and responsibility, Jeremy, to share this blessing to as many Filipinos as I can.
I just think
Yep.
I think I've been blessed. I'd introduced to the niche market of the Filipinos. I've been blessed, not you. And I thank you all for it. And I thank everybody else who's watching. Have a really. Can we close? Are we closing now? So I could just say, good luck to everybody. Stay safe and well. And thank you for listening.
Thank
Wow.
you,
Thank you
Mark.
very much. I feel blessed as well for having you, Paul, and Mark here in my live stream, sharing this opportunity to everyone. That can be transformational, I believe. So
Oh,
in the
yes.
next few years, all of us, we will have more overseas Filipino entrepreneurs here in the UK.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah. So
Thank you.
let's give it up again for Mark Hare, the owner of uStore-it and the very first franchisee of uStore-it here in the UK. Paul
Thanks.
Zuzon of course, Briley Care Agency as well. Thank you very much, guys, and see you around.
Thank you,
Bye for now.
everyone.
Thank you.
for listening. God bless. Take care.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you, Paul. There you go, guys. All right. So that's our episode for today. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us. Ayan. And I just would like to play this video while you're all there, guys. All right. So there you go, guys. And as what I always say, the quality of our life will depend on the quality of the thoughts that we are thinking. Always make sure that you plant those seeds of positivity in your mind every single day and let it germinate so that one day you will see the better version of yourself. Goodbye for now and see you again next week. Thank you, everyone.
It's time to join the chat. Germination's got the beat, no time to wait. Digital vibes is where we're at. Don't hold back, it's true to fate. Party hard at Germination, stay online. Doesn't prove every good time shine.
Hello, everyone! As we are growing our community, we would like you to be part of Germination. If you know anybody whose life story is inspiring, or even your own life story can be inspiring, please do get in touch with us because you'll never know. You will be our next special guest for our next episode. If you find value in our live stream episodes, please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and like and follow our Facebook page, Germination. And please don't forget to watch our live stream shows every Mondays, 11 in the morning and 7:30 p.m. and that is UK time. Here in Germination, we believe that your life story is worth live streaming. See you next week. This is Jeremy of Germination.